Hey, hi. I'm Mona, and if you're here, found Kaleidoscope Dreams Tarot. It's time for another reading, okay? Kind of got one lead out yesterday, but still made it, you know? Today's is, about the normal time-ish. This is about the time I do the readings. I hope everybody's doing okay out there, hanging in there. We're doing okay over here. Let's go ahead and find that general energy card to start out today. And of course, you guys know these are all pre-shuffled, so let's go ahead and get that general energy card. General energy for today's reading is, the World card. So cycles are ending, you know. And I just took a peek when I put the cards back. I saw the Ace of Pentacles too. So somebody is definitely going to have a new beginning. I normally don't look at that. I just wanted to look to make sure the cards were upright, but I noticed it. So somebody is definitely out there going to have some sort of new beginning. Good for you. You know, you could have some sort of fixed sign in your chart, you know. Fixed signs are, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Or Scorpio and... I think it's Aquarius. You know what? I think I might be off on one of those. Maybe double check if you guys, want to help out. You can annotate them below. But yeah, you know what I mean? Ending of cycles. Now, in the reverse, this is kind of like somebody not wanting something to end, because it's driving them, but it's not driving them in a positive way. That's the problem here. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody who, they just want to put a stop to somebody completing something, right? That's another thing. This could also be, just because things are popping in my head right now, this could also be somebody is coming close to an end of a healing cycle, and you're doing great, everything's good, and then you have that one person out there that tries to block you up. So this might be that, it might not. But, take that into consideration. Somebody might want to disturb your healing journey or your healing process or whatever you got going on, right? They want to disrupt it, right? But a lot of people out there, you're just not going to be able to do that to them because they're too strong, If you put in the work, you build strength every single day. Yeah, you're not putting in work for nothing. You're putting in work to build strength for yourself, your mind, your body, and your soul. That work is dedicated strictly to those things. So, if you put in the work to heal yourself and try to understand whatever it is that, is holding you up, is bothering you, making you feel a certain way. If you put in the work to figure those things out, that's like building strength in your library of knowledge of, healing. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get 5 cards to start out here, okay? 5 cards to start out here. Woo! If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Hoping everything is going okay for you. Looks like it's going to be a hot summer for sure, but hope everything's going okay. If you are new here, I do suggest you get yourself a deck of tarot cards. Learn the definitions of the cards. It will take your mind off of whatever brought you here in the first place to just, focus on something else. You know what I mean? Try to get your mind in a direction of positivity that's going to benefit you. You know what I mean? All right. Let me move these out of the way. It looks like a good outcome, though, you guys, here. So let's get started and let's tell you what's going on here. At the bottom of the deck, we have can you believe it? This is like the order it goes. It goes the World, and then it cycles back around to the beginning to the Fool card. How perfect is that? Right? But apparently, because we know that these are 50-50 cards, the Fool in reverse, it will not take place because somebody does not want something to end. So you got to watch out for people who are trying to sabotage your healing, because that's kind of, just from these few cards I see right now, is what I'm feeling that someone is trying to do. Like, you've come a long way. Like, you've done really well. You are understanding your emotions and whatever you need to do, whatever, right? And you're making it, you're doing it, but someone out there is not happy about that. They're not happy that you're succeeding. They're not happy that you're doing well. They are in constant wanting to see you fail. But unfortunately, it kind of doesn't look like that's happening. So let's go ahead and let's find out what else is going on here. Now, this is the Seven of Wands. All right. This is about defensiveness, but it's in the reverse. So I could also see, because normally the first card is the energy of the viewer. You are releasing, somebody here is releasing defenses, right? So somebody was going through the healing process, and yes, they could have been closed off, because when you're going through healing and you're going to that hermit mode, or you're doing things to try to figure out how to get better, right? You're gonna realize that some things were holding you up. Some of those things can often be having trust for others. That's probably the one main thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, because trust is lost when you're deceived. And when you have to go through a healing process, it means you were deceived. So the most likely outcome from that is that somebody has lost trust. So I feel like somebody here is releasing those issues, right? Not completely, because it's still there, but they are releasing most of it, right? Because we have the 10 of coins right next to that, because they understand that holding on to past stuff, so tightly and never releasing that energy, it's not going to allow them to catapult forward to something more beneficial for them, right? Like I've said before, if you have negative attitude, you have anger towards people and all these things, it's virtually impossible to manifest for yourself. So I kind of feel like somebody here has figured something out in their healing journey that they need to release, right? And in the process, what's going on here is that they're building a legacy for themselves to be substantial, to continue for the future. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why this 10 of coins is here. And then in the end, once they got that going, because this is kind of like you're going through processes, and you want things in life. You want love, you want happiness, you want joy, you want all that stuff. But it's not going to come until you have those feelings for yourself, right? And when we get to this 10 of coins card, I kind of feel like with you releasing whatever was going on, it got built up into this 10 of pentacles, which is longevity, legacy for yourself. And in turn, love comes in, and the outpour and the pouring of emotions because of your success for yourself. It doesn't even necessarily mean, I don't know why I'm getting it this way, but it's going to be different for everybody. We have the 2 of cups there, and this is usually emotions shared between two people. Now, if you never had a certain type of love for yourself, right? A certain degree of love for yourself, because we all know we're not perfect, but we should love ourselves. We should, cherish the temple that our soul lives in, right? If this is here, for some people, these 2 of cups emotions is somebody actually finding that love for themselves, because maybe they haven't loved themselves. Like people who have been through trauma, they turn to drugs and alcohol. And they do that because they want to forget the problem, right? But the problem here is yes, something went wrong, and you wanted to turn to those things, but you need to look at, how did you get there? And if it's a person, family member, people, whatever that got you there, try to understand what got them to be the type of person they are. that's why resentment, it's so important to let that go. Because if somebody's hurting you, it's because somebody did something to them that they don't know any better, so they do it to everyone else. You know what I mean? It's kind of like breaking the chains of trauma. You see? Ending that so you could move forward and finally build the life that you've always wanted. Okay? Obstacle or advice here, we have the King of Pentacles. All right? This person, does everything by the book, right? Now, we could be dealing with somebody, because the King of Pentacles in reverse, that's a straight up criminal, but he's in the upright here. I don't know why I'm getting it this way, but just listen, you guys. The obstacle here is somebody wondering if they could actually continue and do everything without like cheating or lying or stealing or doing crime, you know? So somebody could have been that way in the past, but has realized like that got them nowhere. And they have to turn their life around. And in order to do that, you got to just do everything right. Basically, don't hurt people, don't cheat, don't lie, don't steal, and just be honest and just do what you can, you know? And somebody is worried whether or not they can do that. Because the advice here is you got to do that. So we could be talking about somebody, King of Pentacles energy, right? It could be male or female, okay? Because a woman can also take care of herself by herself financially and speaks up for herself too. So this can be male or female energy. So, you know, somebody is just worried if they can do this. Listen, you can do it. People don't realize how easy it is to follow the rules. Right? If you know what you're doing, but you know, what we have out here is people who are lazy, who don't want to look into those rules. Like, why do you want to skip some stuff? Because it's logical, it needs to be there in order for you to move ahead. So, I mean, and sometimes, yes, the process is harder and it is longer, but in the long run, you become more successful. You don't have problems to deal with at the end. No one's coming to you to arrest you or get you in trouble because you did it all right. So this is what's going on here. And then at the last card here, we have the Ten of Cups. Fantastic. This is a freaking awesome reading for someone, right? We do have some people there. Remember, always, 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 there's always going to be that person that's going to be hating on you because you're doing well. So you do have some people out there who are just... they do not want to see you happy. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you successful. And they don't want to see you healed. That's another thing. So be careful, okay? Because in the end, look what we have here. We got the dang 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups. Look at you. So, I mean, it's just a story. You know, there's probably a lot of people that aren't going through this. But there could be a lot of people who kind of are. Right? Because you put in the work, right? Because you realize that you are important, that you deserve love, right? That you deserve people to treat you with respect, you know? And somebody here is finally realizing that. And congratulations, you know? So let's go ahead and clarify. We're going to find out a little bit more about this story. We have the Seven of Wands. Somebody finally releasing what was holding them back during their process of, you know, their healing journey. Because I'll guarantee you that a lot of people out there, when they've been traumatized or been through something, once they start the healing process, most of the things that go through that is that they lose trust in people. Yeah, I went through that too myself. I didn't trust anybody. I couldn't tell. I couldn't read, you know, if this person was a good actor. It's hard. It's really, really hard, right? Like, I can read people, but not in the beginning. Like, it takes time. I have to sit. I have to evaluate. I have to listen. You know, I have to see what they're talking about. You know, and in the beginning, I used to be like, oh yeah, I could tell in like 15 minutes, you know, if somebody is bad. Or, you know what? No, because there are some really good actors out there. And even myself have, you know, been wrong, you know, and, you know, we're all wrong at some time in our life. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed of that. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of these actors out here. That's why you always have to, you know, make sure you got your bases covered, you know? Okay, let's go on. Sorry, I keep messing with that, but when I'm talking, it helps me to think. So at the bottom of the deck, definitely have somebody who's losing sleep. And it's you know, you are losing, you know, we're talking about you, this person who's releasing these defenses, right? These defenses had you losing sleep, wondering if you could trust somebody up and late at night. Yeah, it got you stuck in your head. And when that happens, it holds up your healing journey, right? It holds all this up. So somebody here had a problem that kept them up like at night, like they couldn't figure it out, up at night, can't sleep, just tripping out, right? So we have some people out there going through that. But eventually I feel like you will let that go, because you're going to realize, like, why am I wasting my time just on this, overthinking on this? Why don't I just, you know, forget that stuff and just continue with life, right? Because somebody here could have, you know, we have some people out there that are just more emotional than others. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you can't tell on the outside, but on the inside, you can't tell if that person goes home late at night and they're just like tripping out in their house, you know, like, so we have some people here who somebody's trying to make them trip out, you know, but somebody I think has figured out like that's a waste of their time, which is good. So 50-50, we got some people still in that mode, and we got some people who are finally figuring out, I'm not going to let this person live rent-free in my mind anymore, right? That's what that is. That's actually you letting somebody live rent-free in your mind. That's when you can't let things go, right? But when you finally do, you're like, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like the weight has been lifted, you know, and there you are. So we are talking about the King of Pentacles. And you're in the upright here. So you can do things by the rules. You can stick, you just have to stick to it, right? Just have to stick to it. So when you are at the point of releasing this trust issues and understanding what you got to do, you know, whatever, you know, you are doing it right. If you're questioning yourself, like, am I doing this right? Is somebody gonna, you are doing this right. We have the Four of Pentacles, and that's usually hanging on to something. And this is letting go, this is hanging on. And what I feel like is hang on to the energy of the King of Pentacles upright. Because that is what's going to allow you to move forward. But we also have the King of Wands reversed. So either you can be kind of angry about the things that you went through, and that's where this Nine of Swords upright could be, or you might be upset because you can't let go of the fact that somebody may have manipulated you, or somebody is trying to manipulate you. So that's another thing that's going on here. Okay, I don't feel like you, King of Pentacles, is somebody who is trying to manipulate somebody. I kind of feel like whoever is trying to stop you from succeeding in your healing journey, that person is trying to manipulate this to not happen, this cycle to end and no new beginnings. Somebody is trying to manipulate that for you. Now, whether it works or not, it's, you know, it depends. You know, let's see what this Ten of Coins is here. Ten of Pentacles here. Ooh, a whole bunch of cards flipped over. But I'm not going to take it because it's like 5 or 6 cards. Let me put those back. All right. So let's find out what this Ten of Pentacles is. Let me get 3 cards. Something that's definitely taking a long time, right? We have the Knight of Pentacles. And that's a card that, you know, is telling us, oh, it's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, what else? One more card. Let's see. What we have at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. Somebody out there is going to get it. I'm telling you, somebody out there is going to get this wish fulfillment. And somebody out there is trying their damn hardest to stop it. Who? It's not showing here. It's not actually showing here. But somebody out there, could be family, friends, you know, people, acquaintances, whatever. Somebody out there is definitely trying to manipulate the situation. because out of selfishness and excess, right? I feel like this person has no reason to attack you, but they are because they're jealous of your success, right? Selfishness and excess is like they're being so selfish because you're succeeding that they're trying to do whatever they can to break you down. But if they would drop their focus on you, they could find this wish fulfillment, happiness, and joy for themselves. But for some reason, they're just not. So somebody here just really hates another person or people. They hate a particular person who's actually succeeding. And you know, that sucks. That sucks. You know? Yeah, look at this. So definitely it's going to take time to get to the Ten of Pentacles energy, right? We don't gain success overnight. It takes time. So it looks like with here to here, someone's at work. Someone is working in these two columns. And then right here, we have the Knight of Cups, but it's in the reverse. So somebody could be trying to downplay somebody's healing journey, trying to be like, oh, you know, like, you know, that's good, you're healing, you know, too bad, this, that, and the other. It's kind of like, it's like giving you a backhanded compliment, I guess you can call that, right? It's like, I'll give you an example because I don't know whose situation is doing what, right? Oh, that is, maybe somebody was on a weight loss journey, okay? How about that? So somebody's on a weight loss journey. I'm just giving you an example of a backhanded compliment. And say you lose like 50 pounds, right? And you're just so happy, you're excited, you know, you're at a party, whatever, and you see friends and they're like, wow, you look great, fantastic, that looks so great on you. And then you get that one friend that comes up and says, oh, girl, you look so good. Too bad you couldn't fit into that size 9, but good job. You know, that's like a backhanded compliment, you know? So you're always going to have somebody out there who's kind of like that. And I kind of feel what this Knight of Cups is. Somebody out there, they're going to be like, oh, you know, you're doing so well. I'm so happy for you. You know, but they're not. They're really not. They're being sarcastic. And then we have this Ace of Wands. And this also doubles as a strength card. So I kind of feel like when somebody does that to you, you can tell. I think you know. I think you know because you've been through it enough. You've been doing your healing, and you know, like this setup right here is classic of somebody finishing a cycle. Finishing a cycle and starting brand new. And I feel like whoever is trying to stop you at this point during your journey, they're not going to be able to do it because I feel like you've become to the point to where you know what backhanded compliments are. You feel people's energy now. You can feel like uncomfortable around somebody, or you know what I mean? I feel like you kind of got, I mean, not like a pro and perfect every time, but pretty damn close, you know, that you can tell when people are trying to, you know, bring you down. And that's a good gift, you know, but just remember, there are some people out there that you won't be able to tell if they're complimenting you or putting you, it's because we have really, really good actors out there. So that's just one thing I want you guys to keep in mind. You know, you're going to have a lot of people congratulating you, but just remember, some of those congratulations are fake. And some of those people out there are praying and hoping that you fail. So just keep going and keep doing what you're doing, right? Don't manipulate any situations to make you do better if you're doing okay now. Don't cut corners, right? Somebody out there might actually be telling you, oh yeah, you could just skip that step because then we can get it done faster. Don't do that. Don't listen to that person because that could be that one person that's giving you that backhanded compliment or that's not on your team all the way, that wants to see you fail. So be careful. You know, follow your intuition. We have the Two of Cups here. Let's find out what these emotions are. Now, are these emotions like what I said? Are they for yourself? Did you find love for yourself? Is that why this is all going like this? Or what's going on here? Bottom of the deck, King of Cups. Look at that. Maybe so. Love for yourself. King of Cups upright loves himself. He cares about himself. He cares about his mind, body, soul, right? But then we have the King of Cups reverse. And that person doesn't really care about themselves. They probably go out and they have a lot of sexual partners. They probably do drugs, alcohol. They don't care about their body, their soul. You know what I mean? That's what the King of Cups reverse is. But the King of Cups upright is really into their health, intuition, taking care of themselves, emotionally stable. So we got somebody that's good here, somebody who could have some water in their chart. But somebody here definitely was trying. See, we have the someone was trying to get away with something in regards to this Two of Cups. Somebody was trying to get away with, in hopes that somebody would not find love for themselves. That's exactly what I'm feeling here. Yeah. And then look, Four of Swords, the Death card. You can't do that to this person because they've already found it. So whatever you're trying to get away with, it's over for you because they've already found love for themselves. And the reason why is because they waited for their ships to come in. Three of Wands. Waiting for their ships to come in means that they took the time and the process to go through the healing journey. That's why they were able to find this love right here. And somebody was not able to get away with stealing something from them or ending something, or maybe it was the end of the old them and now they're somebody who just loves themselves. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Focus more on yourself and the love for yourself. Who cares about what anybody thinks of you or what anybody else is doing? Whether they're successful or failing, who cares? Just do you. Just worry about your own stuff. Right? I mean, we do hope that everybody is being successful, right? Let's be honest here. Let's not be mean and nasty and resentful for people. I believe I want everybody to succeed who's around me. If I see people out there working hard, I want them to succeed. I don't want them to fail, trip up and fail. No, that's not the way that we should be. Not any human being. We should all be motivating each other to do better. So, you know, that's just it. You know what I mean? So let's find out about this King of Pentacles, right? King of Pentacles. Let me get 3 cards for King of Pentacles. Woo, we got it. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So this is a card of truth. This is about receiving a message that's honest, right? It might, whether it hurts or not, it's still honest, right? And in the reverse, though, this is about not receiving any truthful messages or somebody receiving a message that's dishonest, okay? So those are the 2 options there. So this King of Pentacles could be dealing with dishonest people, but they could also be dealing with honest people. If this person was not so good in the past, but they kind of turned their life around, King of Pentacles upright now, right? And this person wants to remain an upright king. There's going to be, you know, people out there that are like, oh, I don't know about that guy. You know, in the past, I remember that person used to do this and used to do that. So people are going to bring up your past, but you're not that person anymore. That's the thing. You know, people love to bring up people's past. They love it. They love to bring up how somebody did this. You see it all the time in the news, all over the place, right? But it's whether or not a person is actually healed from that. Are they a different person now? Have they grown? Right? So, you know, we do have an 8 of Cups here. This is looking like all brand new beginnings to me, you guys. Yeah, we have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Ace of, the 2 of Wands. And this is about a conversation. And they're all upright. So we do have honesty coming from the King of Pentacles, right? Even this person, right? I just heard this like in my mind, right? Somebody might walk up to you, if this is your energy, and say, oh, I heard somebody told me in the past that you were doing this, that, and the other. Is that true? Remain honest. Say yes if it is true. But you can turn around and say, but that's the past. That was like 10, 20 years ago. I'm like, I'm grown. You know, like, be honest with people. You know, because that's what somebody's downfall could be too, is that somebody's saying, oh, I know this person used to do this kind of thing in the past. And then if somebody turn around and ask you, did you used to do that kind of thing? You know, if you say, oh no, and then they find out that you did, then they'll dub you as a liar. You know, just be honest, especially if you have healed and you have done better and you aren't doing bad things anymore. Be honest, because that person you're talking to could be in that terrible position, and by you saying, yeah, I have to stop doing this. I have to do this. I have to do that. You might be motivating that one person to follow in your steps to heal. That's why it's always good to be honest. You know what I mean? Um, that's what I'm getting from that. So, the advice here is be that King of Pentacles, be honest. Somebody brings up your past, saying that you were this, that, and the other. Some people are going to bring up stuff though that isn't true. So remember, if it's not true, just be like, no, I don't even know what that is. But if it is true, you can agree with it, and you can turn around and say, but I'm not that person anymore, and I can help you to change your life too. Like anything to motivate somebody. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting right here. And then in the end, boom, 10 of Cups, happy family, happy home, longevity, good luck, everything's going in your favor. And that's what needed to happen here. You know what I mean? Just need to make a little space. Got the 10 of Cups there. Here's 2 and 1. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. You got all the aces out. All the aces are out. So this is a brand new start, new beginning for someone, right? But just remember, there is someone, people, places, things out there that are trying to stop you. So if you could just remain in the mode you're in right now, maybe you're in hermit mode, or maybe you're doing something, you're not really communicating with people, just stay in that mode. Don't invite anybody. If you're doing better in life and you feel like, all right, I'm ready to invite, don't bring out back anybody from the past. It's all about brand new right now. Look, ace, 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 ace. It's all about brand new. Start focusing on the brand new. Don't bring any of the old energies back into your life. You're just going to sink right back into that pit. You know what I mean? Look, 2 of Cups. Definitely going to find some love. Wish it's going to be a wish fulfillment. Because you used your intuition. High Priestess energy, final card. You see that shit? Excuse my language, but this is great. This is a great reading, but I just want to remind you, just watch out. I feel like you have a lot of haters out there, and they're trying to like do sneaky things to throw you off. Yeah. And they're sneaky things too. Like you won't be able to tell like who did it, where it came from, or how it happened. So just like I said before, don't focus on anyone else. Focus on you and your healing and what you got going on for yourself. And it's good. You know what I've also found that helped me out a lot? I have a Facebook and I have these 2 YouTube channels, but I don't have Instagram, TikTok. I don't have any of those other social medias. So it kind of keeps me away from looking at what other people are doing or seeing comments or whatever. I stay away from that. I have the Facebook, but I'm only on there maybe like, I don't know, once, twice a week. I kind of see what other people are doing. If I run past a short that's interesting, I'll throw it up there. But I really don't go there because I've also found that Facebook is a good place to bring people down and get you to feel a certain type of way. So unless I have someone on there that's spreading positivity or information that's pertinent, I'm not interested. So I just kind of get off there. So yeah, I do suggest though, if the reason why I have these YouTube channels is because I've found that it's a better way to save my progress and my healing. Instead of journaling, I have it on video. So I have my, Sacred Geometry Universe channel also about my healing journey. I think that, doing it this way is a good way to save information. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to save stuff in the cloud if you, you start taking pictures and doing a lot of things. The cloud is going to get filled up, but you can make a video, put it on YouTube, and it's going to be there forever. So, you know what I mean? Unless they disappear. I don't know really what happens to the videos, but like I have documented like the past 4 years of my life on YouTube and my healing journey. So, I mean, you're more than welcome to go over there and look. It's all random. It's nothing like organized or anything at all. There's parts where I'm upset. There's parts where I'm happy. You'll see me in different parts of the United States, but it's interesting. So, I mean, maybe somebody here is ready for, their new start too. Or somebody is just ending, whatever their journey was, and they're going to start their new journey for, their future, So this is a really nice reading. I really enjoyed it. Does it resonate with me? I kind of already feel like this is something that has come to pass for me. In the past, I probably was working hard to, for me, and this time of my life, I feel like I have reached success to my comfortability. Right now, it's not necessarily that I have $1 billion, right? No, it's just the fact that I have found a way to live comfortably, to take care of myself, to take care of my mental health, and I'm able to help people out there the best I can for free without, you know, asking anything in return because I want to help people, and I feel like I'm okay right now, right? I do have other goals though, right? It's not like my goals are done. No, I do have other goals here, but they're all usually linked to mental health stuff, right? Because of course, there's nobody out there. There's barely anybody out here who's never been damaged, you know. But I'm on a constant working to heal my mental health. So this is why, I constantly do the tarot. I constantly go out to nature, and I constantly, study things because I want to be better and I want to help people. So this is a way that I found that I can do it best I can, even though I don't have a whole bunch of subscribers. But it's okay. It's okay. It's as long as one or two people get something out of my readings, I'm good. Sorry that I was chit-chatting too much at the end here. I don't know. I felt like I needed to tell somebody that. I also want to tell you that you are worth it. You are enough. And you can succeed in life no matter what anybody says about you. I'm Mona, it's Kaleidoscope Dreams Tarot, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.